Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the Football Overseas YouTube channel and welcome to FA Cup quarter-final weekend. 8 teams left standing, 4 matches to play obviously, 3 of the top 4 tiers of English football represented. So we've got the the Premiership, Championship and League One all represented by teams, which is great at this stage. 4 matches that really... probably the Chelsea Port Vale stands out as one you could easily think you could just predict and move on. You never know. But we'll look at all 4. They're across Saturday and Sunday. And then, of course, the tournament even moves on to Wembley for the semi-finals and the final. So, what have we got then? We start at 12:45 on Saturday, Easter Saturday. The blockbuster tie really of the round, I guess, were the top teams. Manchester City versus Liverpool. Now, Manchester City already polishing a trophy from winning the Carabao Cup this a couple of weeks ago against a lacklustre Arsenal on the day, wasn't it, for those who watched it. Liverpool have been lacklustre probably too many times this season, which is why they are... really off the pace a little bit in the Premier League. Still with a chance of qualifying for next year's Champions League, though, from it. Arne Slot's been under a bit of a spotlight, hasn't he, at times this season? All these things being thrown at him. It was the one with Klopp's team last year and all that. I think that's a bit unfair, personally, but still got to put the thing together and go trawl your way through 38 matches to do it. And, of course, Mo Salah, most recently, coming out and saying he is off-ski at the end of this season. So a little bit going on in the background maybe for Liverpool. Manchester City, meanwhile, are purring along quite nicely. Probably too far behind the Arsenal for the Premiership, but it's not done and dusted yet. Their home record is second to none, really, isn't it, I think, generally speaking. And their passion, or their determination and desire for these the domestic cup competitions is absolute credit to Pep Guardiola. He just churns out sides who he knows he puts out sides to win the game. He doesn't think about this is a cup competition, I'm going to go slim on my pickings. He is putting a team from his squad. Remember, it's a squad of 25 Premiership players. So he puts a team out from that squad of 25 in his toolbox that will win games at the various stages of these cup competitions. Absolutely brilliant, and fair play for him for doing it, because he could easily rest, not to do that in quite the same way, and maybe still get the same success, who knows, but he really focuses, and I think it's brilliant. So there we go then, Manchester City versus Liverpool. I'm going to give it to the Blues purely on home advantage. I say purely on, with the home advantage ingredient. I think that will be Manchester City to just edge out Liverpool. It'll be close. It's bound to be close. I don't think there's going to be more than a goal in it, but I think Manchester City will just have the edge. So it's Manchester City for me to take the blockbuster game at 1:45 on Saturday. Then we go to the romance of the romantic tie, Chelsea against Port Vale. Port Vale of League One have made their way right away from the first round, of course. So they've had a few extra games to play. Put away the eye-openers were putting away Championship Bristol City and Premiership Sunderland, both 1-0, both on their pitch. That's come a little bit under the microscope, but I think it's a little bit unfairly. It's the same for both sides. Yes, it's been nowhere near the conditions that anyone would expect to play football in 2026, let's be honest, at any level. But it's unfortunate. They had some difficulties with it. They had a lot of rain in that area, as we all did in January. So that all of that piled in, and it just became a complete... and they just hit the buffers, didn't it? And the pitch, and they had the games postponed as well, didn't they? The Bristol City game, in fact, was postponed on its original date. So they've had pitch issues, but they've come through it. They've won both games fair and square, no complaints at all. But they will find the carpet billiard table pitch at Stamford Bridge in a completely different game of football, possibly, or just certainly a different conditions to play football in. Chelsea and Liam Rosina, he's been under the microscope as well, or under the spotlight a little bit as well. Again, a bit unfairly, I think, at times, but he has brought a rod for his own back, some of the things he's done and said, and the way he goes to just presents himself with little bits of paper. I'm not so sure about all of that, but it's because it's all about results at the end of the day, and they've lost 4 or 5 on the trot. So this is seen as a game that he just has to purr along in, really. He won't want, even if they win scrappily, he won't want that. He'll want to be talking about a much better Chelsea performance against a side that has given a plucky performance themselves, but they could well do better than plucky, who knows. I think Port Vale and their fans, their hordes of fans that will go down the motorway on Friday or maybe Saturday as well, just enjoy the whole thing. I hope the Port Vale directors have managed to get a sponsor or something from one of the best hotels in London for a couple of nights for their team. They deserve the whole feel of this is their cup final, isn't it, for them? And you never know, they might pull a rabbit out the hat. But I think Chelsea have just got to play their, probably not even their A game, but just about their B plus game, and they'll go through. But they'll want to be A plus plus. Liam Rosina will want to see a purring Chelsea side against the bottom team in League One. So we shall see. But it's Port Vale's day. It's Chelsea's match, I think. But let's hope Port Vale really give a great account of themselves. And we're talking about their performance and not so much Chelsea. But Chelsea to go through with Manchester City so far. Now, down to St Mary's we go for the other EFL side still flying the flag. And that is Southampton, and they're playing the Arsenal. Now, Southampton on a good run of form, in a rich vein of form in the Championship. They have leaped in or propelled themselves into the top 6 in the last couple of weeks we played, and it's theirs to lose now. They've got a chance to be in the playoffs again, as they were last time they got promoted. Remember, they beat Leeds United, didn't they? I think, if I remember rightly. 1-0 in the final. Anyway, that's for another day. Southampton then in good form. Arsenal obviously in good form to be doing what they're doing all season. But they will not be happy with some of the recent things they've produced, in particular against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final. That was A disappointing match, and B, a disappointing performance by Arsenal. And they really sort of let Manchester City in the second half in particular. They let Manchester City rule the roost and Manchester City took the trophy. Thank you very much. So Southampton will have a full screaming house of their fans behind them. Arsenal have their share, of course, as well. They're permitted 25% or whatever it is in cup matches. And I think the Arsenal will have that in the back of their minds, or they'll certainly be reminded, I would have thought, by Arteta to say, hang on a minute. Just remember what happened 2 weeks ago when we dropped our standards or didn't play to the levels we should be at. And if you do that against Southampton, it could still end in tears for Arsenal. I'm going to give Arsenal the match just over Southampton, but with one of my little caveats that I like to do, little asterisks. Because I think if Southampton get in front with the crowd behind them, you just never know. Flip that over, of course, if you concede against Arsenal. They're so good at defence. It's one of their strengths, isn't it, this season? They'll be so difficult to break down when they've got something to cling to or hold on to. And if you try and pick them off, or not try and pick them off, but if you leave holes at the back where you can be picked off, Arsenal are the team to do it. So, I'm going to give Arsenal the edge with a little caveat saying, watch this space. It won't be straightforward. In the late night game on Saturday, 8 p.m. kickoff at St Mary's. I'm sure we'll all be watching somewhere on our screens. Brings us to the fourth and final match, obviously, of the round, and that's on Sunday at 4:30. And we have two Premiership sides, two struggling Premiership sides that are battling it out for a place at Wembley in the semi-finals. West Ham United versus Leeds. Now, I don't. This is a tricky one to call, I think. Where's the focus? Is the focus on staying in the Premier League? Of course it is. But they can put that to one side, you would think, and have a real chance at some glory here in this the cup runs they've both had. West Ham are the home side, but as we know, that doesn't always count for a great West Ham. And, if they go behind, then the fans get a little bit edgy very quickly because they can just feel it's the same old to a certain degree. I think Leeds have got a chance if they just go down, play with a bit of a refreshing style, refreshing outlook to the match. Don't try and be too tactical. Just go there and play. They won there, didn't they? Did Leeds win there recently? Am I making that up in the league? I can't remember. But Leeds have just got that little bit of breathing space in the Premier League, but it's marginal. So they're both still in real trouble at the bottom to try and scramble away. However, even though West Ham are at home, I'm going to give Leeds a little bit of. I say it's not a shock, is it? If Leeds win this match, it's two sides in the same division, giving it their all. But I just think Leeds are going to pick it's a sort of a shock because it's against the flow of the betting. I'm sure West Ham will just be favourites to win. But I'm going to take Leeds to do it. I think they'll go down there, play with the freshness, an escape of the relegation shackles, as West Ham could do. But I just think Leeds have got just a bit more about them if it comes to that head-to-head in that way. So, they're my fourth team to go through. So my four teams then are Manchester City, Chelsea, Arsenal and Leeds United. So all four from the Premier League. Can Southampton or Port Vale break the mould to stop it being an all Premier League competition from here on in? We shall see. It's going to be a great day, or great 2 days. I will see you again. Excuse me. I will see you again post the round in between the quarterfinal and the semi-finals. It'd be great to see what the draw is, but first of all, let's go and enjoy these 4 matches. And thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe the channel. It helps the guys immensely. If you've already done it, thank you so much. So that's me signing off this one. It's the best competition in World Club Football. Just the best cup competition in World Club Football. Just remember that. It still flies the flag very high indeed, and these 4 games, I'm sure, will do it justice. I will see you again very soon. Thanks for watching.